Romanticism often paints a vivid picture of love, weaving tales of passion, longing, and connection. For many women, these narratives shape their understanding of romance and relationships. But is this understanding realistic? Today, we will delve into this question, exploring the influence of films on women's perceptions of romance. Films have a powerful way of shaping societal beliefs and personal expectations. From classic love stories to contemporary rom-coms, the portrayal of romance often sets a standard that can be both inspiring and misleading. It is crucial to consider how these cinematic narratives impact women's views on love, intimacy, and partnership. Historically, women's roles in society have been largely defined by their relationships with men. The films of earlier decades reflected this dynamic, often portraying women as passive recipients of love or as characters whose identity and happiness depended on their romantic connections. For example, movies from the mid-20th century often featured heroines who found fulfillment only through marriage or romantic encounters. This representation can lead to a skewed perception of romance, suggesting that a woman's worth is tied to her relationship status. As we moved into the late 20th century and early 21st century, there was a noticeable shift in female representation in films. The rise of strong female leads in romantic comedies and dramas began to challenge the traditional narrative. Women were depicted as ambitious, independent individuals who sought love as an addition to their lives rather than the sole purpose. However, while these films celebrate women's independence, they often still perpetuate unrealistic romantic ideals. Take, for instance, the recurring theme of love at first sight. Films often depict characters meeting, experiencing an immediate spark, and embarking on a whirlwind romance. While this is exciting and captivating, it creates an expectation that real-life relationships should mirror this intensity. Many women may find themselves yearning for that instant connection, overlooking the reality that meaningful relationships often take time, effort, and mutual understanding to develop. Moreover, the conflict resolution in films is often overly simplistic. Characters might face significant obstacles, but by the end of the film, love triumphs and all is well. This narrative can lead women to believe that real relationships should also resolve conflicts in a neat, tidy manner. In reality, relationships often require ongoing communication and compromise, and not every disagreement has a clear resolution. Additionally, many romantic films reinforce certain stereotypes about gender roles. Women are frequently portrayed as nurturing and emotionally available, while men are depicted as emotionally distant or needing to be saved. Such portrayals can create a false dichotomy in relationships, where women feel pressured to fulfill traditional roles or to adapt to the emotional needs of their partners. This can lead to an imbalance in relationships, where one partner's needs overshadow the other's. However, it is important to note that not all films contribute to these unrealistic expectations. Some contemporary filmmakers are striving to depict more nuanced and realistic portrayals of love. These stories explore the complexities of relationships, including vulnerability, growth, and the challenges that come with intimacy. Such films encourage audiences to engage with the idea that love is not always perfect, and that conflicts can lead to deeper understanding and connection. In examining the impact of film on women's romantic expectations, it is also essential to consider cultural differences. In various parts of the world, romantic films may reflect different values regarding love and relationships. For example, Bollywood films often emphasize dramatic expressions of love and sacrifice, which can set a different standard for romance compared to Western films. This diversity highlights that women's understanding of romance is not monolithic. It varies significantly across cultural and societal lines. While films undeniably influence how women view romance, it's crucial to recognize that individual experiences and personal beliefs also play a significant role. Many women today are aware of the discrepancies between cinematic romance and real-life relationships. They actively seek to cultivate love based on mutual respect, communication, and shared values, rather than unrealistic expectations set by the media. So, how can we encourage a more realistic understanding of romance among women? Engaging in discussions about the impact of films on perceptions of love can be a starting point. By sharing personal experiences and challenging stereotypes, we can foster a more nuanced understanding of relationships. As we reflect on the narratives presented in films, we should also consider the representation of diverse experiences. Stories that highlight a range of relationships, same-sex partnerships, non-traditional family structures, and varied cultural backgrounds can enrich our understanding of love. These stories remind us that romance is not a one-size-fits-all experience, and that there are many valid ways to love and connect with others. Furthermore, we should encourage media literacy, helping audiences critically analyze the messages presented in romantic films. By questioning the portrayals of love and relationships, individuals can develop a more balanced perspective that honors their own experiences and desires, rather than passively accepting the ideals depicted on screen. For women, understanding the impact of films on their romantic expectations can be empowering. It allows them to recognize the difference between fantasy and reality, and to seek relationships that align with their authentic selves. It's about cultivating connections that are grounded in mutual respect, understanding, and shared experiences, rather than adhering to a script written by Hollywood. As we conclude our exploration of women's understanding of romance and the influence of films, we invite you to reflect on your own experiences. How have films shaped your perception of love? Have you ever found yourself comparing your relationships to those portrayed in movies? We encourage you to share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. Engaging in this dialogue can help us all better understand the complexities of love, romance, and connection in our lives. Remember, the journey of love is uniquely yours, and it is shaped by your experiences, values, and the connections you build with others. Thank you for joining us today in this discussion. If you found this exploration of romantic expectations insightful, consider subscribing to our channel, Silk Masks, for more engaging conversations on the complexities of relationships and the impact of media on our lives. Together, we can continue to unpack these narratives and foster a deeper understanding of love in all its forms.